Okay, welcome to another lunar flight video, and we're just going to kind of jump back into the game and try to accomplish something. I spent a couple hours playing around with it last night just to get a better feel for it, and what I found was one of my biggest problems that I'm having with the lunar flight module is the power. When you apply power using the keyboard, yeah, it's like it's not a smooth transition up and down. If you lock it with the control key, it takes a really long time to bring down the power. So I think this game might be more designed for joysticks or something. I found that if I connect the lunar flight power part with my SciTech throttle quadrant, I have much smoother control. I can throttle up and I can throttle down much better. So let's refuel. Apparently we didn't have any fuel when we were last here. And FS over to this view. I think I like it better. And apparently I got some kind of an achievement. I think I can turn this view off. I don't know if it's more interesting to see the larger outside, but I think I can still fly from this view. Actually, let me think about that. I don't know what all this achievement stuff is. I don't care for that kind of thing. Yeah, I can still fly from this view because I can still see the radar, and I can still see my pitch, my roll, my altitude, and everything. So I'll try doing a video flying from this perspective. So once again, let's pick a mission, and transport seems to be a little bit easier for me for the time being because you just go from point A to point B. So we're going to select that mission and put it on the navigation. So we need to lift up, yaw over, and go that way. So let's do that. Let me get my left hand on the throttle quadrant. And let's power up. And of course my throttle quadrant's not being recognized for some reason. That sometimes happens. Oh, there we go. Some Windows thing. You just heard the USB device kick in there, so. Okay, still don't have power. Let me check the mapping of the controls real quick. Power. Thrust up. Okay, it's been reset. So let me do maybe plus. Okay, so that's the throttle quadrant axis, and then for power down, I want to go the other way. Okay, and let me save it. Maybe I didn't save it before. Close and get the throttle to 50%, which is 0, which means it's 0 because if you pull back on the throttle, it's reverse thrust, and if you go forward on the throttle, it's positive thrust. So continue, and let's try this again. Power up. There we go. Now immediately put in some yaw. Okay, and this is the way we want to go. We're now facing the direction we want to go. Okay, let me zero out the yaw. Okay, now we'll pitch over. And bring up the throttle to get some velocity. Let me zero out the pitch now so that we're not constantly pitching, and you can see what this looks like here on the external camera. So we're pitching forward. And we are climbing, so we can probably put in a bit more pitch because we don't really need to climb. And we don't want to go too fast because we only have to go 350 meters. So bring down the throttle and bring the pitch back to so that we're level. Okay, we only have 245 meters to go. We bring up the throttle a little bit because we're now descending. We're a bit off, so I'm going to put in a little bit of translation to the right. So we can start translating over toward the pad. This is our destination. Bring up the throttle just a little bit. We only have 175 meters to go. Put a little more translation. Bring up the throttle a little bit more. We're descending. And let's brake. So now we'll pitch back. And we bring the throttle all the way to maximum. That way we can brake all the way, because we're only 45 meters out now, so we're basically over top the pad. A little bit more braking. Yep, should be good. Let's pitch back to a level, so we want our pitch to be 0. I overpitched. Now we need to translate left. We missed the pad. I can tell that because of the radar down here. Still pitching over. I don't want that. Okay, we're down to 400 meters a second. That's what that sound meant. We bring the throttle all the way up to 0 at the vertical speed so we don't drop into the ground. Okay, and translate over to the left. Bring the throttle down just a little bit. We're climbing, and I don't think that's necessary. It's not necessary because we're at 38 meters. Okay, the landing pad's cutting. The tower at least is in view. Cut the power a bit more. We're climbing at it and don't want that. Okay, now we're almost in front of the landing pad. You can see from the radar down at the bottom, so I'm going to zero out my lateral movement. Bring up the power a little bit so we don't drop too fast. Okay, our lateral movement should be good. Bring up the throttle, we're descending too fast. Eliminate some of that forward velocity so we don't overshoot the pad. We need to translate a bit to the right. Okay, we're more or less over the pad. We should be able to just drop straight down now, although we're almost out of fuel, so I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. But I'm getting a little better. It's not a complete catastrophe each time anymore. Bring up the power so we don't drop too fast. And we're not quite over the pad like I thought we were. I'm going to have to land where I'm at because I'm not going to make it to the pad. If I had something like the VOR, VTOL MFD, it would be a lot easier. So soft touchdown here, try to get soft touchdown before we run out completely out of fuel. Alright, we're down. Okay, well, let's try it again. You know, we're making progress at least. So reset. And I really feel like I could do this with a fair amount of ease if I had something like that VOR, VTOL, MFD. Okay, transport, accept. Put it on the navigation. We maybe get a different camera. Maybe this camera will help. I really don't really like this camera because, again, it has a camera. It has a camera that's sort of floating above the module, and it would be better if the camera was positioned on the bottom. Maybe there's a way to toggle it, because this camera position is just, it's not realistic. Anyway, let's power up. and hover. Immediately put in some rotation so we can rotate to the direction we need to go. Watch that we don't overdo the power so we don't shoot way up into the sky. Okay, let's zero out our yaw and pitch forward 30 or 40 degrees. Bring up the power while we do that, because since we're pitching over, we don't have any, we're basically putting a lot of our power into that direction, so we're not climbing. But let's not overdo the velocity. Let's bring that back and pitch the other way. I might hit that, that was close. I almost hit the, like a boulder. Bringing the pitch down. Probably should have gone a little faster than this. Okay, pitch is mostly zeroed out. Now we need to translate a bit to the left. You can see the radar image is showing that we're not quite moving straight toward the landing pad. Bring down the power a bit so we don't climb. And we're almost lined up with the landing pad, so let's take out some of that left translation. And I believe if we bring the velocity vector, it's that plus sign that probably doesn't show up real well, but if we bring that straight over the landing pad, then in theory we should be heading straight toward it. Okay, we're descending a bit. Let's bring up the power and pitch back for our braking. It's more than enough. I really overdo the pitch. I don't mean to, but I always do it. Okay, we just got the warning for 400 meters, or 400 fuel left. Pitch back to eliminate the rest of the forward velocity. And there I go, way overdoing the pitch again. Taking out some of the power. Translating a bit to the right. Oh, I'm over-pitched. I now have a... Okay, there we are. We're pitched now to 0. Let's bring the power down because we're climbing. We don't want that. Translate to the left, I meant to say. Or, no, we do want to translate to the right. And let me see if using this display down here will help me land. Just watching the power so we don't overdo taking away the power. I can't tell where I'm at in relation to the pad. Actually, now I see it coming into view. Okay, now we just need to descend, eliminate the forward velocity. And we're down, and that was like our first semi-successful landing. With only 5% fuel remaining. Alright, let's, I think we have to go inside the view here in order to unload our cargo. Cha-ching. It's a pretty fun little game. I'm not sure how much longevity it would have because moving from pad to pad, and it's really kind of all you're doing here. There are different maps, and I don't know if the different maps have different challenges. And there's even one map that's on Mars. I haven't looked at that one yet. And maybe there's more maps you can download, or maybe there's, you know, more mission types that you can have. Because right now the default that I'm seeing, there's only 3 different mission types. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try another similar flight just to see if we can do it twice in a row. Transport, accept, select navigation, and this time it's behind us, so we need to, it would be most efficient actually to lift up and pitch back and go backwards, but then you have to think about, actually let's try that. So 392 meters, let's power up. And we're going to rotate to the left, which should bring the target actually and put it behind us. And that's kind of what we want, because we're going to try to lean backwards. Okay, zero out the yaw. Not quite zeroed out yet. Okay, now zero it out. Now we're going to pitch backwards. Not overdo the pitch again, like I always do. Okay, that's good, 30 degrees. And apply some power to get some velocity. And let's bring back the power so we don't overdo it, and so we don't climb too much. And let's recenter our pitch. Bring the power down because we're already climbing. And we need to translate to the left. $265 meters to go. Put in some more left translation so we can get more lined up with the pad. And actually, now that we're level, we can actually just let's yaw around so we can see where we're going. Bring the power up. We are descending and I'm not paying attention. Hopefully we'll make it over this hill. Okay, now we need to eliminate this velocity that we have going in this other direction. Which apparently I'm not doing correctly because we're gaining velocity, we're not losing velocity, so we're going to crash into something. My orientation's all messed up. Alright, let's cut the power. Let's roll so we're not going to hit the ground, hopefully. Bring up the power so we don't hit the ground. And pitch forward to eliminate that velocity. So I don't think we have any chance of making it to the landing pad. But we'll pitch way over because we need to eliminate that velocity fast. See, we're still moving at 4 meters a second. 4, 3, 4. Now we've got... I'm not actually sure how I'm oriented at the moment. I'm just gonna have to touch down right here where I'm at because, oh, if that's even possible. I ran out of fuel. Huh. Pretty challenging game, really. You know, I think really what makes it challenging is the lack of MFDs. Because I just don't have access to the information that I want. Okay, let's do it again. Wrong button, missions. Let's see if we can do a lost cargo. I'm not real sure what the difference is between those. South of Alpha. So we need to go to Alpha, and there will be in somewhere south of Alpha, which I don't know how you're supposed to tell which way is north, south, east, and west in this. I guess this kind of tells you. Okay, so we're going to Alpha. So let's power up, pitch forward. I'm in the wrong camera view. And bring the power way down because we're climbing like crazy. $435 meters to go. So Alpha must be all the way across. But where is south of Alpha? I have no idea. Wonder if that beeping that I'm hearing is like a proximity to the cargo. And I wonder if you can see the cargo or if it's just like a point that you have to go to but you can't see it. Bringing down the power. Okay, well I'm at Alpha, so south of Alpha. Again, I don't know which way that would be. There's no HUD. Okay, well we don't want to crash into the mountain, so let's pitch back. About 40-50 degrees, about right there is good. Bring up the power to eliminate the velocity. And power back down. Pitch over. Slowly bring up the power just enough to eliminate the forward movement. Or eliminate the vertical speed so we don't descend like we are now. Get the pitch back to 0. So somewhere there's cargo. Put in some reverse translation so we're not moving forward. Bring the power down so we can start to descend. We're dropping pretty fast, 3 meters a second. Let's bring up the power. I'm just going to try to land on this pad. Bringing down the power so we can start descending a little bit. This time at least we're over the pads, quite centered, quite well centered. Just have to watch the power. Oops. Didn't mean to put in reverse. Alright, well we're down, but I don't think we accomplished anything in that one. Yeah, because we didn't pick up our cargo. I need a view of the map. Like I need to be able to scroll out and see the whole map so I can know what I'm looking at. I don't think you can do that. Maybe you can. Can't rotate the camera though. It's completely still. Left click, right click, middle click, scroll, scroll. Press F1, F2, F3, F4 to switch between views. That's F1, that's the F2 view. Actually, I think from inside the cockpit you can rotate the camera, maybe? Nope. Thought you could. I know I've done it once, but I don't remember what view I had up to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure. And so I don't really know how to really play the game, you know, how to, because going from point A to point B, I mean, once you've done that a few times, that's not real exciting. So there's got to be more to it than that, and I can't figure out all the different things really that you can do. I did figure out how to turn off the recording. So if you go to options, and maybe it was in other. Yeah, if you go to options other, and then you can turn off the auto record play so that when you end a mission it won't pester you about saving your recording. Alright, well that's going to be it for this video. I'll make another one once I've spent a little more time with it and figured things out. I have read over the manual. The manual doesn't really give you a lot of information unless I skip. I didn't read it real closely. I looked at the I found the section that I wanted to find, which was what all the keyboard controls do, and just from my memory it didn't have a whole lot of depth. Let me see if I can load it. Find the manual here real quick, just so you can see what the manual looks like. I have to even think where it's at. Maybe it's just in the directory that it was installed in, which I have no idea where it installed itself. Because this program was originally, I got it through this program called Desera, which is a lot like Steam. And I wish I had just waited until it was available on Steam, but I didn't know that it would ever be, so I got it through Desera. Okay, I think I found the Lunar Flight directory, but I'm not seeing where the manual's at. So apparently the manual did not install with the system. You get a text file which tells you what all the keyboard controls do, but I had a PDF open at one point. Maybe I got that from the Lunar Flight website. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully by the time I do another one of these Lunar Flight videos, I'll know something more about how to play with it. Maybe I'll look up some other YouTube videos and see some other people using it, so I can get a better idea of how to do things. So if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you in the next video.